I see. There we are. All kinds of crazy things are happening. All right. So let's record. So anyway, uh, Jonathan and Paula, you guys did do this assignment because I know we did a
Uh-huh.
lot talking about vanishing points.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to
Yeah.
review it very quickly before we go on to two vanishing points and we start the exercise, the practice exercise. So if you remember correctly, this line back here is the ground. It's where kind of the ground meets the sky, or in this case, the kind of mountain scene. It's what we call eye level. It's like if we're standing at this distance and we're looking across, it's like where like the horizon goes kind of flat. And if we're looking at it in three dimensions, our eyes function in a way that's in something called cone vision, which means as things go away from us, they get smaller and they kind of appear to rise up, right? So, so just like from a simple perspective, right? I don't know how many of you did this when you were kids, but we know logically that this part of the road is not bigger than this part of the road, but it looks that way when we're drawing it. We also know that this part of the road doesn't actually rise up the way it appears to, right? The way we draw it, right? But it appears to us to rise up as things move away from us. So this is what we call a vanishing point. Single vanishing point. And what that means is at the eye level horizon, which is where the sky meets the ground, when you're trying to convey something going away from you, whether it's a road, a building, a cup, a person, as things move away from you, they get smaller and they rise up. And you know the angle to draw them to because they meet at a single vanishing point. So if I had a set of fence posts, right, going up like this, they also would go from the top and the bottom, whoops, to the same vanishing point. They would all, that's what we call a single vanishing point. And you can see that here. So everywhere underneath, everywhere when things are going the same direction, right, away from you towards the single point, that's below the eye level, these lines all go to the same vanishing point. And the things that are above the eye level, they all go to the same vanishing point, but they start up and they go down, right? So this is single vanishing point perspective. When we start, does anybody have questions about that? Does that make sense? And it's also okay if you don't understand everything that I'm talking about. Perspective is one of those things you have to keep returning to again and again. And you almost have to make the mistakes to be able to even understand how you need to think about it. Does that make sense? Art is really great that way. It almost requires you, particularly drawing and painting, it almost requires you to make that mistake. So this, right, for example, this little block here, the top of this block is going to a single vanishing point, just like that road did. These guys are going to double vanishing points. And this building, because the sides are going in different directions, actually each goes to its own vanishing point. So what does that, so this is like dual vanishing point. So what does that mean? And I'm going to have you draw that. I don't know if you can see this, but right here, this black line, this ridiculously unstraightly drawn black line, is what we call eye level, right? That's like here. That means that exactly at eye level. And you'll notice that things that are at eye level are absolutely straight across. However, everything else is either above or below eye level horizon. So when you're sketching out a building like this, and I think this is the biggest mistake that people make, people presume that this angle is the same as this one, that the top of the windows as it goes away is the same as the bottom, but it is not, because you're standing here, and as you look up, each time you look up higher, the angle gets steeper. That makes sense? Right? And then as you get closer, the angle kind of narrows a little bit. Actually, I think this is eye, actually. Well, anyway, they say that's eye level. So every angle is different. The mistake people make is they try to draw the top and the bottom as the same angle. They try to make these two lines the same angle as these lines. So when you're sketching and you're using, but you can use vanishing points. I'm going to do this small so you can really see this. We start with the beginning of the building, right? This middle line right here. And then the vanishing point, let's try it. The vanishing point for the building is here and here, which means that every one of these lines on going on this side of the building goes to that vanishing point. I like to send it out further, actually, because I don't want my building to be so steep. Let's bring it right out to the edge. So here's vanishing point 1, and here is vanishing point 2. So everything on this side, right, goes to this line. Everything, tops of windows, bottom of windows, goes to that vanishing point. And then when it gets below, it goes up to the vanishing point, like that. And then these lines, these verticals, are straight up and down. So you can see, you can start adding in windows, right? I simplified this. There's more, like, technically. These lines are all straight up and down. And these lines all go to the same vanishing point. Does that make sense? So the side of the building, the end of the building here, and here, and here, and here. If you want to, you can use a ruler. And all these lines come to here. They all come to this vanishing point. Everything that's above the horizon line, there we go, goes down towards the vanishing point, and everything that's below, right, goes up. And then all the verticals are straight up and down. So I'd like you to start by trying to copy this building. Do you have enough? Did I give you enough information to be able to do that? Enough of a demo? Or is
Yeah.
anybody feeling confused? All right. So go ahead and try it. Actually, you might want to try it with your paper like this so you can really put your vanishing points out far.
Yeah.
I would put them out kind of here and here. And what will happen is you might not get a building that's shaped exactly like this, but it'll be close. So that's your first assignment. We want a building with 3 rows of windows, right, and a little door on that side, and spaces between the windows. Everybody gets very frustrated with perspective until you realize it's so much easier than trying to measure every damn angle, right? To measure every angle, you'd have to check everyone. If you know it all goes to the same place, it just makes it a million times easier. You don't have to think so hard. You just have to locate the angle. So in this case, we're kind of making this up. We're making up where our vanishing points are going to go. But when you're drawing on location, you're actually looking for, you're drawing the top and the bottom together like this to see where do they meet at the eye level horizon, and that's where all the other angles go. You'll notice actually that a lot of times in something like this, the vanishing point actually goes off the paper. So you'll have to kind of measure it, but we don't have to do that today. So yeah, start like this, put your vanishing points, start with your eye level horizon. You can even label it eye level, right? This straight line where everything is like straight across. And then put one vanishing point here and one vanishing point here. And then your building starts as a straight line up and down, goes a little bit below and a little bit, a lot more above. Then start drawing your lines. I like to get the top and my bottom kind of set like that. And then I like to do this. And then we're going to try another, we're going to play with another exercise. It involves drawing kind of a farmhouse. And like I said, we're going to return to these exercises again and again. So don't worry if you don't quite get it. You kind of have to make the mistakes a few times before you really get it. And then I like to add in my top and my bottom, right? So my sides, right? My 2 sides, which are straight up and down, right? And then this side's a little bit longer. I might bring it in. Make it a little bit more equidistant. Still not equidistant. Here, hold on. I need an eraser. The other thing you'll notice is that some days you're on, if I really want to do this right, I'll just measure it. Notice I'm going from here out to the center, and then, yeah, look how far off I was. There we go. Now, these are the same. The same on this side. And then I can start sketching then my first bank of windows, top, bottom, right? Second bank of windows, top. I'm going to bring that up. Space. There we go. Top. bottom. And then this last bank of windows, you'll notice it kind of runs along the top of the eye level. So the top is actually straight. And then the bottom let's go up a little bit. Bottom is bent. Same over here. As long as I'm going to the eye level. Yeah, so no angle of any window from the top of the bottom is the same. That's the bad news. The good news is, and of course, I'm going to try and line these up here on the other side. I want this line to be at kind of the same level as that line. I want this line to start here. Okay, you might come up a little bit. It's going to be easy to get confused. But what you kind of realize is, even though it's a little bit tedious, it actually is easier. And then of course, then you can just sort of sketch in your windows like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. These are straight up and down. Two. Notice also that as the windows move away from you, they get smaller. These are straight up and down, straight up and down. Although it seems a little bit maddening, it's actually easier to get it right. Do a better job than I did, though. And just get into the exercise. And if you're struggling, that is okay. Just text me, send a picture over so I can take a look at it. This is an intellectual mind game. You've got to kind of, I almost think you have to do it before you understand it. It's weird. I suppose this is how learning to write and learning to talk are. We just don't remember because we're very young when that happens. We were very young when that happened, but we spent many years, mimicking tones, like trying little pieces, not really getting it right. Think about how long it is before a child actually says something that makes sense. It isn't just like gobbledygook, like blah, 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 blah. Like my granddaughter who just walks around. I think she's starting to say words now because she's closer. She's like 18 months, but most of the time she's just like babbling. But she has great tone, like tonal, you can hear the tone in her voice. So that's what she's focusing on, just the tone, not the words, not the meanings, not the connection of that. That is an entirely different brain process that takes many years. But the tone she can hear, so she's like blah 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 blah. And then every once in a while, no, or down, something like that. That's all. And she's super smart, so I just want to make clear my granddaughter is very smart. But like its form, it's how do you say it? Figure before form. It's you almost do the form before you understand before you can have a deeper understanding. Form before God. There we go. See, damn it. I've just been painting today and my brain is absolutely mush. I can't use words at all. And then if you feel up to the challenge, try the cubes. Try a couple of the cubes above if you feel like it. In the cubes, you can see three sides, right? There's the top here and the top here, the side here and the side here. They're still going to two vanishing points. And then on this cube, you can only see two sides. Thank God. So you could start with that one, which is easy. Decide if you want to do the other two. How's your week been, guys?
Fine.
Yeah. Jonathan's how's the issue this week?
That was crazy.
God, as always.
We were so late today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why? Just because of
Because
anything in
there's so many changes.
right? Well, as we've all learned this week, change is not necessarily bad.
Mhm.
And I would like to see all of these. So I'd like to see your drawings when you think you've got it done. And if you're struggling, send me your drawing. The whole point is that I can help. I don't expect anybody to necessarily get this the first time. You might not. Um, the struggle is real and good. Also, nobody dies when you make a drawing.
Children in Africa starve when we mess up.
Right. Can you imagine being a doctor? I just couldn't imagine being a doctor. The pressure. The pressure is so intense. I mean, you're just people, right? Being an artist is great because being wrong is part of the process, and it's so much a part of the process, making errors and then correcting them, that like you don't even think about it after a while. Like it's kind of like you're guessing and then you're like, oh, okay, let me see. Because things like this are happening, we're translating three dimensions to a flat surface, and so the rules change. So, and we don't always know those rules, so that's what we're figuring out. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my water. Hey, by the way, guys, how's my sound this week? Good?
Good.
It's good.
Yes, I have a new computer.
Yay.
Yay, we like that. On Saturday, everybody was like, you sound so sharp. What is that? You look sharp, you sound sharp. What's going on? I think the key to thinking about that is to understand what happens to parallel lines as they go away from you. So these are parallel, right? They're going off in the same direction, the same way this road, right? These are parallel lines, these lines, these lines. It means they're all going the same direction, which means they all go to the same vanishing point. And since this is two sides that are going in different directions, these lines are parallel and these lines are parallel, right? Going in the same direction, this way and this way. So there's more than one vanishing point. How's it going? Is anybody kind of pleasantly surprised? Or are you more irritated? But anybody pleasantly surprised? Anyone?
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised with the top part of my building, but the bottom looks like a major fail. I don't know what that is.
Is it at, you want to send it over so I can take a look at it?
Yeah, I keep trying to fix it. I'm just, oh God, I don't know. I think I put
You
my
might want to start over. It's
Yeah,
this is definitely the kind of thing where you could do it.
I may
do
have
that.
put my windows too low. I don't know what I did. I'm trying to
Let me
do-
see.
It's just not looking
Hey,
right.
actually, you wanted, oh yeah, just send it over. Let me take a look.
Okay.
Pleasantly surprised by the top, annoyed by the bottom. Yes, I will be able to tell you right away what has happened here. Okay, let's see. Because the bottom, you're a little confused about where your eye level is.
Maybe that's what it is.
You didn't really define it. It's not, well, it's kind of there, but yeah, you've made it go too low, really, is what's happened. So that's really the only thing. Just
Okay.
bring it up, just bring it up. You're right. You've made it go down a little bit too low. So just bring it up just a little bit. So there's, oh, I see, you've got your door on the one side, or bring your windows down a little bit farther on the left, that bottom row of windows. So
Okay.
make that line go down a little bit more, and I think that will fix it. All right, let's see, Arky. Okay. So Arthi, also, you missed where the vanishing point is. I'm going to show it where the eye level is. So I want to show you where it is. Yeah, in this particular case, actually, I'm going to give me a second. I'm going to reprint this out. So this is technically correct, Arthi, in most cases, right? Because, and notice what happens when your vanishing point is close. It really skews the building. So I want you to try one where your paper is this way and you have your vanishing points at the end. And I think you'll see you'll have a building that looks a little bit less skewed, but this is not bad. And then the other thing I wanted to show you, Hang on, I'm gonna make a quick copy and I'll get right back to you. Show you. Wait. I will. Yes. I'm gonna do, this is what I. I'm gonna pull this off for a second because what I'd like to do is stop the video for a second. I'm going to take a picture of this and I want to print it out again without all my scribblings on it. There we go. Okay. So there's this. And then I'm going to edit it so it's even smaller. I'm going to email it so I could print it. 1 second. Getting faster. I have to send it from my phone because I'm old school and there's probably a quicker, easier way to do this, but I haven't figured it out yet. All right. Let's print you. Let's print you. Okay. I'm going to print this out again so you guys can see it. It wasn't a great picture. This one's better. Let me pop you back up. All right, I'm going to pop you back up and show you. Here we are. Take a look at this. All right, I want you to look at this. So here, this is the eye level line. It's right here. If I was to draw a line straight across, it would look like this. Right? That's the eye level line. Can you guys see that? Mm-hmm. So notice actually that part of your last set of windows is just above it and part is just below it, but all of it goes to the same vanishing point. So the very first thing you need to do, give yourself, once again, eye level, and then vanishing point here and vanishing point here. And give yourself and the line mostly above the eye level, right? Start with the bottom, then the top. Sorry, the top, then the bottom. what happens when I start doing art and drawing and trying to speak at the same time. My left brain is like just completely losing its little mind, right? And then over here, I'm also going to that same vanishing point that's at eye level. So my, oops, yeah, so my whole, maybe up a little bit higher. Yeah, there we go. So my whole goal here, when I'm doing these windows, is to make them look a little bit like these windows. So here are my edges of my building, right? I start like this with the vanishing point, with the eye level horizon, the vanishing point on either side, this vertical line in the middle, and then the outside edges of the building. And then I'm going to draw my other lines. I want them to be not as having trouble. Sorry, I'm having to, there we go. Everything should be going, I'm having trouble seeing. Right, there's the second set. Everything's going to that vanishing point. Nope. I don't actually think everything's going to that vanishing point. So I'm going to erase them and go again. I'm having a little trouble. Ah, there we are. That's what I need. There, that's better. Is row of windows number 1. I'm keeping my ruler here on the vanishing point. Here is the space between the windows. Here is row of windows number 2. And then here is the top of window number 3, right? Like that. And here is the bottom of windows number 2. So I don't know if you noticed, the first time I did that, I wasn't very careful about where my ruler was going. And you can see some of the lines are going off underneath it. They're going underneath the vanishing point. They're not going, everything has to go to the vanishing point. Everything. And that's what makes this system work. And then I'm just going to go straight down. These lines vertically straight down, one behind the other, one on top of the other. One day you're going to remember, not now maybe, but one day this, you're going to be like, oh, that's what this was about, which is what I did when I learned this. It was in many stages, let's just put it that way. It was making a lot of mistakes with windows until I finally realized, right, what I was doing wrong. So try that. Try going all the way from one end to the other on the long part of the paper. And try to kind of line up. We want there to be a kind of similar trajectory between here and here. We don't want them so steep. There we go. It's kind of strangely, well, anyway, it might be a little bit annoying right now, but after a while, it's a little bit zen-y. Is the idea. And once you kind of have a building that you like, I think you should take a break and paint it. If we have time, we'll go do another exercise. Also, if you're feeling up to it, well, no, let's focus on the building. And then once you finish painting, we'll try another exercise. Withdraw. And then next week, I'll give you an actual building. We will actually, I'll get you a photo of a building. that. Yeah, Jonathan, looking good. Is it kind of nice? Like a lot of decisions are being made for you, right? You don't really have to work so hard as long as you can get the vanishing points in the right places. Looks great. If you want to add a little line of trees, which I guess you could do by like, let's say the trees are higher than the windows, you could just add one more. Here, I'll put up here. You could go like this on one side. Top of the trees, right? Bottom of the trees. And if you want to, you can do a little tree, just a little circle, and a little line with the trunk. And then a little circle, a line for the trunk. Nothing obviously going past these lines. Little circle, line for the trunk. You want to, and you can even keep going back. See how things just automatically get smaller. You can put a sidewalk in if you want. Also, going to the vanishing point. Notice I'm making directionals kind of going horizontal to suggest sidewalk. I'm making these lines kind of horizontal and going across because they suggest a different direction than these lines, which are going straight up and down. Have a little sense of a sidewalk there. But everything still goes to the vanishing point, and everything is contained between the top and the bottom of the tree line, the window line, the building line. Put a little dog. But you can even do a little person walking a dog. It's just dots and lines. Honestly, looks like a rabbit. I don't care. That's about how tall that person would be because they wouldn't be as tall as a tree, right? So they'd be shorter than the tree. Do you guys want me to? I can send you a picture of this too if you would like. So you can have it close up. Send it across the thread so you can see this drawing and this brilliant drawing. You know, this silly little drawing. Cute little drawing. Here we are. And that across. just building. Source. There's a little close-up of my tree line. Feel free to add these things or anything else you want. I'll back up here. I will say, Paula, that until Zoom, I started using Zoom about a year and a half before the pandemic, and that made everything better. Absolutely better. Before that, all the video software was just god awful. WebEx, worst ever. Absolutely impossible to use. It was absolutely terrible. Zoom changed everything. You know, Zoom is like Skype, right? Or text. It's like a verb. Like, it's like it's become a part of the language that we all speak now. That's how amazing it is. And then I remember during the pandemic that I was very charmed by the fact that the head of Zoom said he was sick of Zoom. Everybody was all the time. And I was like, that's just so damn cute. But what really a brilliant piece of software. It's such a great, it makes everything so much easier. When you think you've got the drawing, send it over. And then I want to see you start painting it. And I want
You know, I didn't draw this on watercolor paper.
oh, well, that's okay. Just paint it anyway. What, just on regular paper, like
Yeah.
printer paper?
Yeah.
Paint it anyway. It doesn't matter. It's like, even if it kind of falls apart, just have fun with it.
Okay.
I mean, this is what I was thinking about this lesson is this is absolutely something we need to learn, but we need to also have a little, but I know for you guys, the fun is in the painting. So just paint it. Or Jonathan, if you have colored pencils or something else that you can color it in with, you could totally use that too.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Or markers, do whatever. I would say use whatever medium you want to that will be supported by the substrate that you've chosen. Or that you think will do it. It's more like a practice than a finished product kind of thing. However, I hope you'll think it's, you'll get into it and think it's kind of cute. And if we finish it, we'll do another one, or we'll just play with this one. I think this class is going to go towards faces and figures. So I'm trying to get you kind of up for that. We don't have to rush into it. We don't have to rush into anything. We'll stick with buildings for a while, but I would love to get you to do some figure work and some face work, because although those are hard, they really are gratifying. Let's see if I was going to just paint this without really. Oh, interesting. One of these. For you. It's one of those brushes where you put the water in. How do you work? Maybe not. Oh. It's always interesting to notice how your watercolor kind of interacts with your pencil. The pencil, I think, sometimes provides a structure. That can be kind of helpful. What color do I want the building to be? Orange. Yeah, I don't know. This is very satisfying to me. But here's where like being able to draw really supports the painting in a nice way. Once you start adding in the color, it just feels so effortless. And I'm going to admit right now, I'm being very boring about my color choices. I'm not picking anything absolutely radical, but you totally could get really crazy with your funky with your colors. Hot pink. Yeah, that's cute. Now, of course, feels a little bit more motivated.
Hmm.
What's that? Anything interesting? It's amazing how like just simple shapes and color, if drawn correctly, can convey, or did I, oops, can convey so much information, can feel so lively. This is a very simple drawing, but it's kind of lively, this painting. just because we paid a little bit of attention to getting our proportions right. You don't need so much. There we go. Maybe I want my sidewalk. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it boring gray. This is what I do. There we go. Sidewalk kind of gray. And now, you can play with the sky. Let's make the sky happen. If you want to, you can add another building in there too. There's no reason not to, but you don't have to. You can just start playing around with how color and form. Nice. I also sometimes like what happens when you're tired. I know everybody's probably a little bit tired today. Arthi was just saying she just got off work. And Paula, I know it's your day off from a really long day. And Jonathan, of course, is just off his deadline. So everybody's a little time tired. So everybody's a little bit tired. And it's also interesting what happens when you push through being tired. Being a little tired. It's kind of neat because you kind of let go a little bit of control. Is anybody ready to move on to another assignment? You don't have to be. If you're just having fun, go for it. But let me know if you've kind of finished and you want to move to something else, because I can give you another assignment. No rushing, though. I don't want to rush anybody.
Kind of enjoying this.
It's nice, right? It's always nice. Like it's kind of like a nice combination of a little bit of push
Mhm.
and then kind of just a little free flow. Yeah, what I sent you guys. This one's kind of an easy one. Let's see. Let's print you out. And this is kind of a fun one for anybody whose perspective is working a little bit differently here. Notice that here is eye level. And here, hold on. This is just if you feel like doing it. Here is eye level right here, right? And notice that the tower appears to be getting smaller as it moves up. Suppose there's a vanishing point here. Wonder what would happen. You can do that. It's going to take a long time for those two to meet. Yeah, so your vanishing point on this is here's the vanishing point, kind of up here. It's almost a little bit less than the same height of the tower, so you could kind of do a halfway point. But here's the thing that I find really interesting. Notice that the curves of the tower, these lines, right? These curved lines get sort of gradually straighter and straighter and straighter until you come under the tower, and then they go the opposite direction. So towards the eye level horizon. See how that's happening? Right. I don't know if they're going to the same vanishing point or not. I don't know if vanishing point is as important with these rounded edges, but notice that they're steeper. They kind of gradually still curving up, until you get to eye level, and then the next curve is the other direction. So if you want to try that, right, it's going down across like that. You can try that. It's a stack of circles. Tree branches also do this, but in a more organic direction. As the branch kind of moves up, the the sort of circles, like the sort of marks in the bark kind of go this way. And then when it comes towards you, it goes the other direction. Anybody want to show what they're working on? Or are you just in the middle of working on it? We can wait. We can wait. If you're just in it, do it. If you feel like holding it up, let me know. I'll pop up the screen. Send a picture of this across. I don't think you actually need to look at it anymore. You guys use it. My phone's getting kind of low on battery. Well, the recording is actually happening from here, so. Is it hot where you guys all are?
Yeah, it's hot today.
No,
It's not as bad as it was, though. Well, I think I'm just gonna hold mine up, Leah.
Okay.
It's-
Oh, I it. I love
Great.
it. It's adorable. Oh, I love it, Arthie.
Oh,
These
the red one is so cute.
guys.
That's so
Aren't
cute.
they
I like the color.
adorable? Isn't that adorable? I'm
The
telling you,
color.
Jonathan, let's see. What have you been working on?
Oh,
Hold.
hold on. I'm doing the sidewalk here.
Okay. I totally find this is an intellectual concept that's like we're going to go over and over and over again. You're going to hear me talk about perspective a lot, and we're going to practice it a lot. But notice how just paying a little bit of attention to it means that all the color just like totally creates a final painting. Like in a way, it's adorable. Like they're really adorable. If you want to, you can add other things on there. I'm kind of guessing everybody's tired. So we might like stop just here because it's kind of a perfect, like kind of stopping point. Oh, it's a little
That's so cute, Jonathan.
I was
I was waiting for the Godzilla.
yeah, me too. I was gonna say I was expecting a giant squid, but there you all right, guys, are you all right with kind of ending now? I think, does
Yeah.
anybody did anybody find that kind of helpful? Interesting, right? Like in terms of how you solve drawing problems. Okay, so next week we're going to actually work with a photograph of a building, going in 2-point perspective, and then we'll paint that. So now that we've had kind of the practice round, we'll work on something. We'll work on something more real. So, but great work, everybody. It was really great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a great night. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.